The Lord will be speaking to us on a topic that says, before you meet with Esau. Before you meet with Esau. If you check the Bible in the book of Genesis, looking at the story of Jacob while he was about to meet with Esau, and looking at what he did, you will know that there is someone you must meet before you meet with Esau. Otherwise, instead of your generation reading about your excellence, they will begin to read about your shame. Instead of a generation reading about your glory, they may begin to read about your disappointments and your mockery. Jacob knew that if he met with Esau before meeting with God, his shame will be spread abroad. So he said, I will meet God first before meeting with my Esau. And because he met with God first before meeting with Esau, everything changed. Imagine Jacob had met with Esau before meeting with God. What do you think could have happened? It will mean that in the presence of Jacob's wife, Jacob's children, Jacob's servants, and everyone that was journeying with them, so Esau will come and say, this man is a thief. He stole my birthright. He will say that before his wives. And the children will say, oh, no, don't talk to our daddy like that. He will say, no, your father is a thief. You can ask him. And when they ask him, he will now begin to say, I'm sorry. Can you imagine that shame? Can you imagine that level of reproach? Jacob knew all this. That was why he decided to meet with God before meeting with Esau. You know, your own Esau can be your past. If you don't meet with God before meeting with your past, you may suffer shame. There are certain things in life that you need to meet God before meeting them. Otherwise, the situation will be such that when people remember, it will make them feel sad. Everyone have an Esau. Everyone have their own Esau, which you are going to meet with. You see, meeting with Esau, as far as life is concerned, is a fixed thing. It's not something you can pray away. It's not something you can dodge. Everyone in life will meet with their Esau at a particular time and at a particular season of their lives. But the point, the emphasis of this message is, will you meet with Esau before meeting with God, or will you meet with God before meeting with Esau? The best arrangement any man can ever have is to ensure that he meets with God before meeting with Esau. Because when you meet with God before you meet with your Esau, God neutralizes the effect of your meeting. So, what should have ordinarily led to your shame will bring glory to you. Are you getting what I'm saying? Many people end up in shame because they met with Esau before they met with God. You know, your meeting with Esau is so powerful that if you meet with Esau and after that you now met with God, that shame will still be there because not everybody will now know that you have met with God. Are you there? Some people will carry that memory of shame, and they will just walk away. So, to such people, anytime they think about you, they just look at you as a shameful person. Meanwhile, you have already met with God, but they cannot relate with that. All they could only relate with is that this man is shameful. Can you see that? Your own Esau can be your past, like I said. Your own Esau can be your generation. Are you there? Will your generation come to you empty? When your generation comes to meet with you, you must have met with God. Otherwise, you will not have something to offer. So your own Esau can be your past. Don't ever try to meet with your past with your brain. No, you must have encountered God before you meet with your past. If you ever meet with your past when you have not met with God, your shame will be so great that it will be unimaginable. Your Esau can also be your generation, those people that God have called you to bless. Will you choose to go and meet those people when you have not met God? If you meet with your generation when you have not met God, I can assure you, you will have nothing to offer because you will not be a blessing to them. As a matter of fact, if you meet with your generation without meeting with God, everything you do will be summarized in one word, and that will be shame. Because everything you do when you have not met with God will not produce the right effect. So at the end of the day, you will end up in shame because you have not met with God. There are, the word Esau can also mean situations of life. Don't don't prepare yourself. Don't decide to face the situations of life when you have not met with God. We must learn from Jacob. Jacob said, no, I cannot meet with my past if I have not met with God. So he stood in the place of prayer and he wrestled with an angel until he got something from God. He laid hold on a substance from God. And with that thing he laid hold on, he was able to face Esau. Can you see that? You cannot overcome any situations in life if you have not met with God. Because it is those things you got from God on the strength of your meeting with God that you will need when it's those things you will need to survive anytime you meet with situations, anytime you meet with your past, anytime you meet with your generation. Because this is the truth. Anytime you are meeting with your past, your generation, and situations of life, they are coming to check you. They are coming to check God's substance in you. They are coming to check if there is God's signature on your life. And a man's life cannot carry God's signature except that man had met with God. So if you have not met with God, there will be nothing on your life that can make you survive the situations of life when they come to you. That's why some people became crippled. They became crippled spiritually when the situation of life came to them because the signature of God is not on their life. And how do you get God's signature? It is in the place of meeting with Him. The signature of God here means a substance from God. Anytime God meets with you, God will not leave you without dropping a substance on your life. That was why when Jacob met with Esau, something that should have naturally led to his shame and reproach brought glory to him. He was even trying to give gifts to Esau, but Esau said, don't worry, I have enough. Esau that is supposed to, kill him with the sword. Now, when Esau saw him, Esau ran and hugged him. Can you see that? Even Jacob was afraid of Esau, but Esau was happy to see Jacob. God turned the situation around. For God to turn the situations surrounding you around for your good, you must meet with Him first. I pity those people who wants to meet with their generation when they have not met with God. I pity those people who are trying to meet with life's situation when they have not met with God. You will crumble. If you ever choose to meet with the situation of life when you have not met with God, it will crush you because you don't have the stamina. You don't have the stamina to meet with those things you are trying to meet with, except you have met with God. May you not meet with Esau when you have not met with God. In the name of Jesus, receive grace to meet with God. And I want to assure you that what will make the difference in your life is your encounter with the Lord. That's why an encounter is important. When you have an encounter with God, a substance from God drops on you that will help you to face whatever situations will be coming your way. May you receive grace today for an encounter from the Lord in the name of Jesus.